but the authentic part. So how can many times we as foreign people, obviously, as you have just explained, when we go to a new country, we are right here. There is a language barrier. There, who are you? You're not looking like us. The authenticity for us is pushed so hard. Like, I know this. I want to show up as much as possible for one company in Finland to welcome me to the environment of work, or even give me a chance for an interview. But how can someone be so authentic in a sense that it's not so stressful, but many times it is very stressful?
Because we used to have the saying that let your work do the talking, but it doesn't apply anymore today because a lot of work is unseen if you don't show it. So you have to balance, like you said, a lot of things that I didn't see when I was just by myself. A Finnish living alone in Finland is a totally different than Finland to a multicultural family.
That's right.
And so open conversation in the family, and it's good to accept and reflect on those things that you hear. That not all of those things are necessarily nice things to hear.
Like partners that have moved to Finland and they don't know why is it so important to be part of LinkedIn, and why is it like important to be visible there.
And then it's just because it's kind of like a force multiplier of significance in that like more bread and butter space. That is kind of like, oh, there's actually a weight. It is more impactful, and I really got confirmation from an external source. So I'm now starting this local project. That's my view.
No, but I think that's a very genius idea. I haven't thought about that, but now when you say it out loud like that, makes perfect sense.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Inspire Warriors Living Room, and grateful to have all of you participants here. And today we have our guest, Jaakko Pispala, and Jaakko is the owner of the Flow Creator, and he will explain a little bit more about himself. And our mission is to discuss about visibility in a way that is natural, that doesn't take much effort or pushing to be visible. And I think Jaakko is a great expert on that. I would like to thank Familia Association for a great collaboration, giving us a platform to discuss these matters and share with everybody. And we believe that whatever we discuss here today will give some inspiration at a way for anyone who is viewing or watching this discussion even later on. But Jaakko, welcome.
Thank you, Konrad.
Yes. And I think it will be great to hear a little bit from your side. What are you doing? What is the Flow Creator? And a bit about your opening word on the visibility, and then we will continue our discussion.
Perfect. Well, you put it quite nicely already. When I talk about visibility, it's a long process. So it has to be something that you can commit to for a long period. So that means that it has to be authentic. You cannot push something. Nobody wants to wear a mask for 2 years, for example. So you have to be very comfortable what you do and what you say. So you choose your limits, you decide your limits, what you're going to talk about, but then you will be as authentic as possible. So you don't have to put on the mask when you're doing content or being visible somewhere. So I think trusting that you are good enough is like maybe a key points that we're going to be referring today.
Fantastic. And about your company, Flow Creator, what type of activities are you doing?
I'm focused very much on LinkedIn. My main business is to coach LinkedIn content creation. Like I spoke earlier, with authentic angle so that people can commit to the long term in the process. I also do some, you'd say, ghost writing, that I interview people and then I make content for them. But the biggest part of the business is the coaching part. And I really love what I do. It's a beautiful moment when you see someone who is passionate about what they do and you can get the spark out of them to see the light that, okay, this is what they need to be saying. This is what they need to be telling instead of that what they read on a marketing book and repeating something that it's not theirs.
Exactly. And obviously you are here because you're also an international family man. And it will not go without asking, how have you learned, or how do you see the position of international people or foreign people in terms of becoming visible in the society here in Finland from your own experience?
I would say that my perspective has changed a lot during the past 9 years, because that's when we moved back to Finland with my family. Or I met my wife in Brazil, and 9 years ago we moved to Finland. And I have learned a lot about Finnish society and the way it works, because I'm watching it through another point of view now. When I was watching from my personal angle, I didn't pay attention to a lot of things, but now I'm forced to see the other side and reflect also how our society works, and so I can see the struggle, and I can also see that how you can win in the struggle, but it takes a lot of dedication to be through the hard times.
That's right. So when you speak about hard time, you are reflecting more about finding the space here in Finland. But from your own perspectives, do you see international people as potential? If you have family, you have maybe worked with some. Do you see some qualities we could enable this visibility somehow into the society we are living today here in Finland?
Absolutely. Actually, there are a lot of people who come with a different background. They have in a way, a harder attitude to be seen. When as for example, if I'm like we were speaking before, I said that when I was young, I was very lazy man, and I only worked for per hour salary. So, like when I see a lot of foreign people coming to Finland, I see that they really work hard, and often it's just like with my wife also was the thing that she only needed one chance to show her work, and then her phone keeps ringing. Can you come here? Can you do this and this? But she worked for 2 years. She studied as she was already a chef. But when we came here, she made a Finnish diploma as well. And from the first internship, starting from the first internship, she hasn't been a day without a job. She can choose where she works, but she had to get the diploma and have the chance to show. But already when she was working in a high level committing in the school, she get the good places to do the internship. And in the second day, they asked her, would you like to work here after your internship is done? And that's how she started working in one of the most famous restaurants here in Helsinki.
Wow. So as Krishna said previously, that there is a person who wants to give you a job, but does not know where you are. And then just, you need to take that first possibility to showcase.
Yes.
Your
And that's probably where the visibility plays a big role, like you you have to put yourself out there. You have to be visible. And I'm not sure, but I think it's very possible that for a foreigner you need to do a little bit more kind of thing to get the first chance. So you need to work hard, and when you get the chance, you have to earn the continuation. But then, once you made your mark, you will be fine.
Exactly. So this is the tenacity, of course, but the authentic part. So how can many times we as foreign people, obviously, as you have just explained, when we go to a new country, we arrive here, there is a language barrier out there with their, who are you? You're not looking like us. The authenticity for us is to push so hard. Like, I know this. I want to show off as much as possible for one company in Finland to welcome me to the environment of work, or even give me a chance for an interview. But how can someone be so authentic in a sense that it's not so stressful, but many times it is very stressful? Yeah, to start, figuring out how do I show off my skill into a new place. But how can a person really do it effortlessly? In a sense, is that possible?
I believe so, but it takes some background work. First, you need to think, what is your goal? What you want to achieve? Like, for example, my wife, she knew that she wanted to be a chef. So she put all her effort in that, and she made sure that she was always on top of the class in every subject. And she didn't skip classes. She was always interacting with the teacher when teacher was asking something. So you need to know where you want to go. And then if you need to go, when you need to become visible, you need to think, what are the qualities that you have, that you're good and you like about yourself, that are going to help you to get into that goal. And then those are the parts of yourself that you bring forward. And you don't have to think that you need to be perfect, because none of us is perfect.
Exactly.
So it's not always showing more, but understanding what you want to show, and then trusting that the right people will see and they will connect with that, what you have to offer, instead of trying to be something else, or trusting that the strong connection can be based on almost anything. So when you know what you want and what you're good at and what you like to do, be proud of it and say it out loud.
Yeah, and I think it's natural when you're proud of something, then it works naturally.
Yes.
In a sense. So maybe this is also connected to this first opportunity showcase when one person has. But how would you tell a person who is worrisome or questioning self about taking that first initiative? Because that's the visibility element as well.
It's something that we all struggle with. Like, even I consider myself as a professional content creator, and I'm visible every day. I still have times that I'm 2 weeks completely quiet. And it always goes the same way. I skip one day, then it comes easy to skip the second day, and then the barrier grows. Once I get over it, it becomes easy. But the first step is always hard. Doesn't matter if you're doing it the first time or the 10th time. Every time when you see the barrier in front of you, it's hard, and it's okay to feel uncomfortable. It's normal. Everybody feels the same way. And you need to find the courage to get over the barrier, because if you don't, it's the only thing that is guaranteed, that if you're not visible, no one will see you, and the opportunities are coming to your way.
That's right. And do you believe on where someone is trying to become visible, trying small and scale, or always wait for that very thing that you want to do in your life? Because I think that's where the challenge happens for many of us international people arriving, that we already are educated, we already have degree in finance, and we want to work as an accountant somewhere. But no, the accounting job is not there. Which one would be the best if you have to give an advice to someone? Should you be open, or should you always be on the area that you want to become successful? How are the stats of visibility? If I may,
I would, like, from my personal opinion, actually I have quite a strong opinion on this one. I think, like, maybe if you divide your energy, you have 100%, you take 20-25%, it's always on the long-term goal where you want to go. But the 75-80% of your energy, you put the daily steps that you move towards that goal. And sometimes it can be that you're doing something that is far away, but doing something is, in my opinion, almost always better than not doing anything.
Okay.
So you keep the goal in mind. You check, for example, every week what you can do to get closer to that point. But also at the same time, you do something that doesn't necessarily straight away take you there, but it moves you some direction. Because when you are on the move, always things happen more. If you stay put, you're missing all the opportunities. Because when you do something, even if it's not your field, you meet people, you network, you get ideas. But if you stay put at home waiting for the opportunity to come, it might be that you miss a lot of other opportunities. So I would divide your energy. Always keep on moving. And if you, for example, if you know that you want to be a lawyer, let's say you have a degree and everything ready, but you don't see the opening now, you work something else daily, but every week you write a blog post or social media post about how you see the law today in Finland, for example. But you do put some effort all the time for the long-term goal, but you keep moving in the small steps also.
And that's a very LinkedIn self-visibility as well.
Yes, that is, or if you're going to business, that is I would say the best platform often.
Exactly. So long-term vision, be active in what is coming in front of you, but don't stay there. Oh, so long, yeah. We had a discussion.
It's the smooth, when you're looking far away, you focus also on the small step.
Exactly. And that makes a lot of sense. It proves Krishna's words as well.
And if you think about if your car stops, when you get it rolling, you push it, it starts rolling, it's easier to change the direction. But if you stop, it's the barrier that I was speaking earlier. It takes a lot more effort to get it rolling. So when you're rolling, and then you steer the right direction.
Right. I'm interested to go towards the same lane, but in LinkedIn. I am in LinkedIn here and there, and I follow closely many times we international people's way of calling for visibility. Is there some kind of careful remark someone should pay attention when somehow do this personal promotion in social media in general? LinkedIn is a professional one. In terms of the balance between what you really are and what you're showing people that you can be.
I think it's a mixture of both. Like, you have your experience, you have your education, you also have your personality. And you decide how much you want to put out there about your personality. Also experience. It's not always necessary to put all your experience there. Again, depending if you're looking for clients, you have a different kind of profile. If you are looking for a leadership position, you have a different kind of profile. So always thinking, what is the goal with your LinkedIn? And then when you know the goal, you know how to balance your profile, how to balance your content, and also commenting and everything. And I always like to see personal side of people. There are some people that only look for the professional side, but for me it's unnatural. I never choose a partner like a partnership based on the professional side only. It's always a combination of who I'm talking with, what is their story,
Right.
what is their motivation. So I think both
Right.
sides are important. And
So the blend between personal and professional.
yeah, and then when you have your goal, when you know what you want, you need to know who are the people you should be networking with, interacting, because if you wanna please the whole world, you're gonna spend your days mindlessly writing comments and responding inbox messages. So, okay, now I don't know what could be a good topic. Let's take football. The World Cup is going on. So, if you're interested in football, you wanna network with football people. So, you should post about football. You look for people who are related to football. You comment on their post. You have a conversation with them. You choose your niche, and then everything goes around that. So you don't talk about football here and cats there and then basketball here, because then you're mixing all the concepts and no one doesn't know who you are, what you're going for.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
the question is also, what are you willing to exclude? Not only where your focus is, but are you willing to exclude of your interests that are not supporting your professional goals?
That's right. So so that's kind of visibility over popularity.
Yes.
See that? Yeah. So because maybe it's very easily, or it can easily happen that someone wants to become popular in terms of how you show off the self or your skills, yourself, because there is this social media thing of collecting the followers. People want to have so many followers, and then you realize that out of all the followers you have, maybe nobody is seeing you.
Yeah.
But they just follow you because they're interested with what you're posting there. So if you're looking for the job, or if you're looking for a specific project win, it's nobody of those can offer it, but they will keep on liking.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a challenge in a sense.
And it's a trap that I think we all fall in every now and then. And the best medicine for that is that you go and you make a popular post, and then next day you realize that you're spending 3-4 hours answering comments on topic that is not relevant to you, to people who are not close to your goals, and it's time that you should be working. So it's like that reminder stays 2-3 months, and then I fall again, and I write something that gets more popular, and then I remember that that's not the best way to spend my time. That's right. Of course, it's nice to be popular, but it doesn't move me forward with my goals. So that's a good reminder to actually have a viral post.
Yeah.
It makes you think how you want to spend your time.
Exactly. I didn't think about this question before, but how do you see the differences or balance between visibility and pride? And especially, I would be happy if you could connect it with the Finnish society, because as far as I learned here in Finland, you have to really balance yourself when you want to be accepted anywhere.
I think I know where you're going to, because we used to have the saying that let your work do the talking, but it doesn't apply anymore today, because a lot of work is unseen if you don't show it. So you have to balance, like you said, balance between the how strongly you promote yourself and then how you do it. But I think a good combination is that if you put the success stories, but you also tell when you didn't succeed. what you learn from the previous experience. Like you give the both sides. You don't try to look perfect with the shining armor, but you show that you have two sides. Here I made a perfect showcase, everything went well. Here I learned, okay, I was putting too much pressure on something. So I think it comes to being authentic again, being honest. Also, when you're being yourself, it doesn't attract everyone, but it speaks to the right people. So if you want to be something very different and you succeed, you're going to find yourself in a place where you don't like to be.
That's right. This is the only country, I didn't study in so at least not in the university. But this is the only country where I heard a professor say in a class, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Well, am I in the wrong school? Because usually a lecturer should know everything. Yeah. So it connects pretty much with what you're saying. And yeah. So there is still a work to be done. And I think it comes from our cultures. It comes from the way we are raised. Many people who afford to come here on their own, if they're not asylum seekers or refugees, they are usually people from well-to-do families. And in some countries when you are a well-to-do person, everything is there for you. So your mind is it should be there every time and everywhere I go. And that could require a little bit of training, in a sense, to
It does.
to manage this new environment. Yeah.
I think it comes from we have the preset that we think the ones who know everything are the strong ones.
Mm-hmm.
Or when we live a little bit longer, we start to understand that no one knows everything. And actually the strong ones are the ones who can say, I don't know. Actually, I have no idea. And those are important words for the one who says them, but also for the audience to hear, because, okay, if the person can say that or she doesn't know something, when they say that, okay, this is like this, you can trust. Okay, well, this they know and that they don't know. So it's much easier to know who you are dealing with.
That's right.
Than when someone has a strong opinion and always say that they know everything. It's like, that's the problem that I have with AI. It always seems to know everything, and then I check it afterwards. Like, oh, really? What do I take a second opinion here? And it's
Yeah.
that's what happens.
Exactly. Because I think this is a process. So obviously we can speak about visibility and to think that, yeah, I can't go out there, be visible. But I think the visibility in a way that you can be authentic, less pride, showcase, pushy, needs some process. What kind of step would someone take to ensure that finally I am able to be somehow, to build the visibility in a way that is natural? And
first, don't expect to be perfect. And that's, again, no one is. So small steps. First, like if you're not invisible at all, anything. If you talk about LinkedIn, it's an easy example for me. Write a comment. Write one comment every day. When you get comfortable with that, maybe write 2 comments per day. Then once a week, post your own thoughts and keep writing the comments. Adding a little bit all them and not trying to conquer the world at once. Because even if you can manage to do it for 2 weeks, there will be a week when you are more stressed, you don't feel so confident, or you just have a lot of things to do. Everything will collapse and you start from zero.
Exactly.
But if you build a routine that you get small steps and a little bit more, and also it doesn't even mean that you have to put so much more time, because you get better. First day you might struggle to write a comment half an hour.
That's right.
In 2 weeks, you write 5 comments in half an hour. You improve, you start accepting your own opinions. You're more brave with your thoughts, so you write it faster. because you know that you realize that nothing bad happens when it starts becoming visible. So small steps, and then adding little always on top.
On top. Yeah. So growing with the process.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
And giving it time. It doesn't have to be ready tomorrow.
And that's the difficult part.
That's the difficult part.
My account is draining.
Yeah.
How can I give it time? I need job right now.
Then you don't have the option to send one comment per day. Then you have to do 100 per day. And then if you're in a situation that you need something fast, then you need to do more. And then the straight contact is always fastest way. Like if you use LinkedIn, you go to the inbox, you send message to everyone who can help you get a job. And the best response, from my experience, comes when you take a little time before you send the message to see who the person is. And then if you are brave or if you're in really need, you send a video message.
Right.
That's like the best way to cut through the noise and show more of who you are. Like they say that the one picture is worth 100 words. Or imagine you are sending 1 minute of video. It's like you already know the person.
That's right.
You can create a connection in one video. It takes effort at first, but when you start doing it, it's very rewarding.
Exactly. Before I can welcome additional questions, I just want to put one more advice to the multicultural families, husbands and wives, because you're one of them. You have gone through a path. How can they support their spouses or children or whoever is trying to figure out the position here in Finland? Just briefly.
But I can say from my own experience, I wish I would have paid more attention from the beginning. I had a strong mindset what Finland is, and it took a little too long for me to understand that it's not always as I saw it before, because there are a lot of things that I didn't see when I was just by myself. A Finnish man living alone in Finland is a totally different than Finland to a multicultural family.
That's right.
And so open conversation in the family, and it's good to accept and reflect on those things that you hear. That not all of those things are necessarily nice things to hear, but they are part of the society. And when they come to light, when you see them and you accept them, it's easier to treat with the problems. But if we keep on hiding them, they're gonna stay there forever.
Becomes more stressful. Fantastic. Wow. That was a cherry on top of the cake.
It's beyond the LinkedIn advice, but I think it's
Important. If you have an experience, why not sharing that experience? Yeah, so maybe to you.
Yeah, I was thinking like the last answer when you're answering, I'm like, yeah, like acknowledging the difficulties that the partner is going through, but also reminding them that they are amazing. Like, because I would when I like see a lot, some end up losing who they are. They end up doubting their own capabilities. They come like, did I really think that I was a great chef or I was a good enough this? Nobody wants me here. So maybe it was just in my head. So one of them maybe adding on that would be like also reminding them that, yes, you're amazing. The system, it's not you. It's with together. And like that would be something that I would add on that one.
And that's something like if I would have a time machine, I would go back and I would fix this. I would understand it earlier. like give up on my own beliefs, what is Finland, and listen to my wife, what she's experiencing, and then supporting her because she came here with a small baby, and then we have another one. So she was 2 years with just the babies, and so it was very difficult for her. And I didn't see that at point that you're in a different culture, and you don't even speak the language. So it's one topic that I cannot address enough. It's an important topic. And then I could see in her when she get to school, she started to get her foot down. She started to be more stable and like getting her life in order when she had something outside of just being with the babies at home.
That's right.
So,
yeah,
I hope other spouses will be more responsible from the.
Like, is there anything like you could say about the Finnish culture, Finnish work culture that is attached to these?
I would say it's not necessary to everyone. It's also good to understand for who it is. If you're a specialist in something like, let's say you do something with your hands, art, LinkedIn is not the right place for you to be. But if it's related to, how to say, the office work or the B2B sales, then it's the place to be. And then the visibility in LinkedIn becomes more important. And I think Finnish people consider it's still the most trustworthy social media when you're like seeing posts or content from people in work environment.
Okay. Right.
But then with regards to if you work with your hand and you are artistic in that way and you want to make business, but also showcasing that you can work in a way that personal level, but also in a corporate environment, or you make something specific, can you commission it like as an art piece or then I would think that LinkedIn is still useful.
It's still useful, and there's always room. And there are many people who do that on LinkedIn. It's just maybe the good point is that there are not so many as the other fields. But generally, the advice is to go to Instagram or TikTok with those that it's easier to show on video, like what you made, for example, because those platforms give more space for videos. LinkedIn is increasing the video visibility, like I think every day. It's a bit more higher, but still it's behind compared to other social media. So also LinkedIn is usually considered when the buying period is longer, it's LinkedIn. And when you're selling something that people can buy like immediately, then the other social media is better. Yes. But you can always break the rules.
Like in the sense of how have you considered that you could leverage like an Instagram for your type of work?
I could also do that, probably. That's a good question. It brings me to one important thing that I haven't mentioned yet. The most important thing when you choose your platform is where you feel comfortable, part of you being authentic. Because if you hate LinkedIn, you will never be consistent there, no matter how authentic you are. If you don't enjoy the environment, if you don't like the user experience, you're not gonna be good. So if you like LinkedIn and you do art with your hands, go there. If you like Instagram and you're a B2B salesperson, make Instagram work. You can always find your audience if you're consistent. So also you need to see what you like.
Yeah.
Because what also comes to mind is that some are going to be sort of like your main sort of called bread and butter. But I get the impression, like when you try the same thing in different spaces, you also have that sense of permission to like, well, I've got nothing to lose. But it's also an opportunity to be a bit more, or take that awareness and bring it back into that sort of main.
Absolutely, that's a high level strategy already. Thank you.
No, but I mean,
No, but that's strict. I mean, you are
feel where one is
absolutely.
visibility,
I would encourage without
like low threshold ways of, like if it seems like there's a higher cost, like posting and like coming out in a certain with a comment, and you're like, well, that's really too much for me. But if you're like, oh, I can find some similar content of that type to respond to or give a comment to,
absolutely.
another social media where it's low cost. And
Yeah.
like, so that's what it feels like.
No, but that's a brilliant idea.
Roll that up and then sort of like get that
You take 10.
further to feel and recognize that there's nothing much. One is more like trained in that way, and then bring it back to the like from a sports analogy. So you go to training course and you do all you want.
It breaks and you find something else that would work actually in the game also.
And then you bring it back in to say, I've already got these external references that have proved that what I say is not that costly, or it
From the beginning and learn from my mistakes and learn not to repeat what I did.
But I did have a question about like why is it like all maybe I need a lot of like partners that have moved to Finland and they don't know why is it so important to be part of LinkedIn and why is it like important to be visible there.
it's actually very beneficial news. And then it is just because it's kind of like a force multiplier of significance in that like more bread and butter space. That is kind of like, oh, there's actually a weight. It is more impactful, and I already got confirmation from an external source. So I'm now starting with this local point. So that's my review.
No, but I think that's a very genius idea. I haven't thought about that, but now when you say it out loud like that, makes perfect sense.
But that's what I do.
No, Verapa, thank you. You can always learn. And
I would really like to use LinkedIn so much, but maybe that's also because I don't know what my usefulness in that space is now.
That's also important to recognize that.
Yeah.
If you don't feel that you have something to give to your audience, why would you stay there when you can get more impact in elsewhere?
I had the total opposite. I'd been like, because of work, I had to make myself on the other one, Instagram, and I've had Facebook, but I wasn't like, but when I found LinkedIn, I felt like this is my space. This is where I can read people who are like they share or like-minded. Like I can discuss this. Like there used to be a platform that where you went and you would discuss called Clubhouse and in the times of COVID. Yes. And I enjoyed that because it had rooms where like-minded people sat and they had discussions and it was really nice, just like this. But then that died after people started meeting up face-to-face again. And I was like, what am I doing? And then I found that LinkedIn is the place for me. And I feel so like every morning I'm checking only LinkedIn. I'm not checking the others, like even though most people go and check.
I previously 2 years ago, I'm very LinkedIn user, and every job I found, I get that from the LinkedIn. I didn't go and apply on the platform. I applied to LinkedIn and I got that. Spain company I used to work for them in Spain company, and I just go on a LinkedIn. I applied the job. They called me in a cafe of Nepal. We have just random conversation, and they told me that not for you. You can't do this. It's not for you. And then I told them, let's give me a try. Whether it's gonna work or not, I gonna see. And then it worked out. I got so LinkedIn is the platform where we can There is game section also. We can get different kind of games there. There is. I found a lot of snacks of the Finland, and we had a very good conversation over there. See, Mila just found a way. If you need anything, just tell me. I found her on a Monday, and the Cathy, who is just opened a company recently. I used to having conversation with her. She on a holiday. We are having conversation on a holiday. The Mai, who is yet to find an investor and want to, open a company for the children of helping mothers. I cannot help in the league. So LinkedIn is that platform where we can find equal around us and can have conversation. What I doing and this that. So it's not like social media or Instagram where we can hop into other. It's more collectively.
There is more conversation, more connection. Kind of
Cooking saying.
That's what I think. The conversation is what got me there. Even there, when you comment, usually you, especially if you commented very, like it's like a study or something. So if you get your opinion, you will get a reply or even two, and there is a conversation happening. Why in places like Instagram, I see something beautiful like a piece of art, I go and check how I buy it, but maybe I'd ask like, okay, how much is this or something like that. But there is no conversation that is happening quite often there. So this is what I enjoyed it. So maybe this is exactly what you're saying. That makes sense to me because I'm a person with conversation.
me too, and I felt like home when I started using LinkedIn.
I published 2 articles for Finland. One I did research for the economic growth.
That's also a good platform because you can write article. You can write article on the goals that you're comfortable, what you know. You write an article, and then you take the link and you send it to people who can help you achieve your goal. Here's an article that I wrote about the topic XYZ, and because you're sending it to people who should be interested in that, many of them will read. Not everyone, never everyone, but some of them will read it, and you can get a visibility like that, and very focused visibility, like with the right people that you wanna get close to.
We have learned good things here related to visibility. It's a process, and it has to go with responsibility. So you have to promote you to be visible for what you can be. Yes, and not to push, but to show your goods and failures side by side, to be trustworthy, especially in the Finnish setup, but also to know your goals. Yes, and not to slip behind and wait for that perfect moment to come.
Yeah.
And that nobody is perfect. And for the aspirers, open conversation. No, absolutely. Use LinkedIn, but don't stop using others if they favor you, right?
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. I met you in LinkedIn. We didn't know each other before. Yeah, who's my LinkedIn friend?
Yes, that's where we met.
He was trying to be visible. He made a post saying, I found him. Hey, let's come and talk, So that's how the visibility also works. And I'm very grateful that we had this conversation here, because I think it's, we might think that we just speak here, but there is someone who didn't know something that they are talking about, and there's only this one little element that could push this to the next level.
Yeah.
And this is the mission of this. So I would like to thank you very much, Jaakko, for accepting joining us on behalf of Familia as well. Yeah.
One thing now that you mentioned about us meeting on LinkedIn, it's funny that you send me a message. I think you reacted on the comment, send me a message, and like I immediately felt that okay, I want to talk with this guy. But we set up a meeting, and we're like half an hour, 45 minutes, like we have known forever on that.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's fun. It's a social media. It's just pixels, but you feel the people who you want to connect with, who you should connect with.
That's right.
Before you even talk with them.
So,
and that's when you give it a chance, it's something very, valuable.
Exactly.
I remember what you said.
It was to do with visibility.
Yes, it was about visibility without, I think it was that even if you don't always like it, you still have to do it.
Exactly. That's, I think it was very important. But sometimes we forget.
Yeah.
But it's one of the most important things that we need to remember in our lives, because we are dealing with millions of people and you're only one. So sometimes we just have to go through the hurdles to find our ways forward. But thank you very much. This is great, and I'm sure it's going to favor many people. It connects very well from our previous discussion with Krishna here. Krishna shared his personal story, the visibility element.
Yeah.
And of course, our next session in August, which will be opportunities is where you are and the strength of culture. So that will be interesting, because culture and visibility in a new country, could happen up a lot more. That's going to be in the last Friday of August, and we have two powerful ladies here to speak.
Let's pull up with them. Come. Oh, that. Watch online and YouTube the video afterwards. Here you can ask your question.
Exactly, face to face. Exactly. So thank you very much. Much appreciated.